Oh, I
sense.
forgot to shake it up.
Some folks may
Oops.
be a wee bit ornery. I've heard rumors that there seem to be some angry folks on this internet of stuff and things. So I'm willing to conjecture we may be able to find a particular solution. Fizz, you may actually know what this solution might be.
I know I should be wary. Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose.
It's showtime!
Is it a
All
flash
right, now that
extinction
we
event?
Nani?
Nani? I said, is it a,
I'm sorry. I spoke.
solution?
I not only did I cut you off, but I spoke over you again. My
You're
apologies,
fine.
young
It's a
wolf girl.
solution. It's okay because I'm the co-host. It's a solution, a mass extinction event, a flash extinction event.
I believe it was you that said the story begins like, and then everybody died.
The
Quote
end.
unquote.
Once upon a time, everybody died. The end.
I hear that. That sounds terrible, but then again, I'm like, if I entertain some physicsy things, it's like there's this concept called the Boltzmann brain that if universe is boring enough, rather than our reality, maybe just some random brain fluctuates into existence, takes a look around, says, this is boring, and then just like poof, vanishes. And that's our entire reality. It's just that flash of an instant within a random like brain that poofed into existence. So I'm like, if it literally the story at that point is, well, yes. At that point, it's like, yes, and that. How does it go? Once upon a time, and everybody died. The end.
Once upon a time, and everybody died. The end.
Yeah, that basically sounds
Like
like
the
a
dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, that may have been through a confluence of factors. Perhaps big rocks. Perhaps climate changing after said big rock and all that stuff and things. Either that, or maybe it was just all those dino farts, because I hear all about the cow farts and how it's going to destroy all the stuff and things. So I'm like, oh, I think those dinosaurs were bigger than some of those cows there, at least according to some of them, their bones I see. So I'm like, well, maybe it was just those dino farts. There's just too many dinosaurs, cutting the cheese on all of prehistoric history, yada yada. I don't know. Speculation on sauropod flatulence. So.
But depending on how time dilated you are, that would still might look like once upon a time there was dinosaurs and then everybody died. The end.
It does depend on your time scale there. It's like, you're doing the scope of what we believe the universe to be like, I don't know, like 10, 14 billion-ish years old, something like that. Yes, I think, was it the story of humanity is literally like the last minute, second?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Y'all are just a blip.
Within a day. It's maybe Earth. So, yes. Oh, God, it reminds me of that Twitter account for M. Bison. It's like, for me, it was a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking to Chun-Li and like how back in the past he like basically massacred her entire village and all this horrible things and everything. It's like that was a day that she remembered for the rest of her life, but for M. Bison, it was a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, speaking about people being mad about things on the internet that just drive them to the limit, and again, this is just, we've done stuff like this before, and anytime I can utilize the totally imaginary floating dumpster meme, because it's from what looks like to be an originally real life burning dumpster, but somebody just had to Photoshop it going down river in a apparent flood at one point, because Photoshop is a thing. So as we can see, everyone loves a good dumpster fire, as long as it's not yours. I got that. Now, Fizz, you've been around a copy editor. I'm missing a comma or something, aren't I?
No, it's fine.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna say I was probably gonna edit it and then forget to do that later, but this is my just general. I'm gonna try to use a word. Ontology, I guess. Maybe that's not the right word.
And I believe
this
it's
is just
actually,
how
it
I-
is the fire that is fake, but the dumpster was actually being swept down a flooded road.
Oh,
But the fire part was fake.
okay, I can see that. That makes sense. Fair enough.
The more you know.
Yeah, and now you know. Da-da-da-da. All right, but the whole concept of, again, the stream's title is, we used to call them fighting words. Why?
The stream title a lot.
It's usually something alluding to dueling or something. And to be fair, we may have literally called. Oh God, have we literally called it this before?
I think so.
We used to call them
talk
fighting words
a
all the.
lot.
Okay, it's fighting.
Literally fighting words.
We used to call them fighting words. Okay, I've called things fighting words. Okay, I only have one other video from like 5 years ago with half a green screen behind me and much shorter hair saying
goodness.
fighting words. But I know we've used this thingy before. I just changed your audible response to as long as it's not yours.
Yeah, I mean that's true for sure.
Because that's the way I see it. It's just, in my opinion, from my observation of hanging around, perhaps not always some of the greatest corners of the internet. It's like, all right, I fully admit to that. That's fine. I've gone to some very, very interesting places. Let's say, but a lot of times you'll see folks, and folks will be like, "Oh, I can't stand the drama." And again, I'm not citing anyone individual. Let's say these are more archetypical personas that you may see within different communities. I'm sure nobody knows anybody that goes, "Oh golly, I hate the drama." But the people that hate the drama, you see a lot of these same people like at the drama,
Right?
consistently. I'm wondering if there's something missing in one of these equations here. So I'm like, all right, well, if the solution is, and again, going far back, like literally, like it's amazing watching folks that highlight certain things, and then times change. Occasionally, different folks are in different positions, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh, then other folks are bringing up the thing, but now it's nobody would ever do anything just because it's convenient. I mean, that was the idea. We have principles, Fizz. I keep on hearing folks back in the day. At least like 4 years ago, I remember some folks saying, "My principles, my principles." just the wolf girl guffaw. That's right. Yes, Poindexter. Welcome. We're discussing the beautiful dramas and everything on the
Hello.
internet. But I just think it's interesting that, all right, I noticed some of these things. And again, at first I thought, okay, I just hang around with some folks. I'm just in the wrong areas of the internet, and I go to different areas. And the same thing happens. And I go to a different community, and I see the same thing happen. And I'm like,
Well, what if? Wait, hold on a minute. What if the factor is you? Ooh. If you are entering the community and then the thing happens, and then you enter a different community and then the thing happens. Woo!
I put the fires out.
You made them worse.
Worse or better?
It's just a theory.
okay, I may or may not have included part of that quote from Invader Zim in the thumbnail message.
Oh, nice.
I don't want to admit to that, but I have to acknowledge it's a logical plausibility.
It's a decent theory. It didn't come out of nowhere.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna say that I do not. I totally contribute that. I have literally like, heck, even the video that I had like posted earlier from another live stream. If you want to be fair, it was hypothesized on the, and again, I think people are just giving me more credit to kind of be nice at the time of like, yes, one of the reasons this interview happened was our mutual friend, the memes of destruction there. Yes. You fast forward about an hour and a half later and see how the conversation went. It's like, oh, it was kind of a dumpster fire. What can I say? These things just happen. But, okay, so what's the solution? Again, I'm literally just taking the whole Simpsons Tobacco episode, which, for those of you that are not aware, this episode aired, God, probably like a decade or so ago. And it was a whole episode where at one point, they're at Moe's Tavern, and all of a sudden, was it Principal Skinner and his mom come in and something and asking where the restroom is. It's like, Seymour has to use the restroom. It's like over there behind the heavyset gentleman. And Homer's like, who are you calling heavyset? I'm just saying you're a little robot. And he's like, Homer just randomly pulls out a white glove, slaps Moe across the face, and says, you have offended me. I challenge you to a duel. And then Moe all of a sudden was like, he just backs off, he apologizes, and he gives Homer a free beer. It was at that moment Homer's thought was, but Moe, you've never given anybody a free beer. He's like, I ain't never been challenged to no duel. Okay. And then Homer, of course, challenges everyone to a duel to get everything he wants until he's going to the Quickie Mart, and at one point he slaps a southern gentleman wearing a white suit who has a bumper sticker that says, I love to duel. And he accepts the challenge. And then they need to get out of town, and then you have the whole dang Tobacco episode. And long story short, Homer ends up facing the consequences at the end. But it's one of those things where it's like, well, that's just a silly meme. The man's satisfaction. It's like, well, what's the problem? Well, people are getting grossly offended. And again, there's plenty of things to actually get offended about. My thing is, all right, now, some folks truly care about things. Totally acknowledge that. Other folks like me, it's occasionally we like to stir the pot. Sometimes we kind of go around and kind of act like it's.
I gotta sing the Doom song now. Doom, 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 doom.
Because we can. So how do we separate the true believers from the folks that just kind of want to see like a dumpster fire? It's like, all right, well, back in the day, if you occasionally were in real life, you ran your mouth, occasionally there could be consequences. Now, again, I do not promote violence unless we were to legalize dueling. Even still, that is a bad idea. But as somebody that's been punched in the face on more than one occasion, I prefer not to be punched in the face. So when I take that into account, I'm like, well, you're on the internet. You just do whatever you want because we can. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool.
That's the
Some
thing.
folks take
Nobody
things
can
more
punch
seriously.
you in the face anymore for
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
occasional.
Wilding out. Yeah.
No, occasional.
Nobody
yeah,
online anyway will come punch you in the face. Many of them will threaten.
Oh yeah, well, it's. Well, some people even try to like get you murked by getting you swatted or something like that. So it's like, all right, and again, it's. I think a lot of it comes down to it's like, okay, you could say you can do what you want, that's fine. Now, and again, yada yada, don't break the law, caveats, yada yada, cover my butt. But it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, well, if there are issues here, if people really are passionate about things, if they are a true believer and they believe that the only solution is literally for us to have like a national divorce, a civil war, a World War III, I'm like, so what you're saying is, since you disagree with a lot of people and you believe it to be the case, we need large-scale separation of our entire nation and or warfare to solve the scenario. That might be the case, Fizz. And then I go outside and see a lot of like normal people, and people are living their lives, and things are tough. And I am fully gonna admit, like, a lot of people have hard times and stuff, but most folks generally just want to live a good life and be left alone. And I feel like on the internet, what do we incentivize? Saying over the top things just on the edge of you getting actually canceled so you can get more attention and monetize that attention. Again, I'm sure that's not happening. But I'm like, well, if people are suggesting those things, I'm like, well, if it's mostly just a lot of folks on whatever end, up, down, left, right, whatever you want to choose it, that are more on maybe some edges or so. If they don't like each other, if they're consenting adults, I say we let consenting adults engage in mortal combat under the doctrine of bodily autonomy. Your body, your choice, or as Dr. Serizawa said, let them fight.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's the whole quote unquote legalized dueling meme and everything, just because it's like, all right, what's the ultimate limit of something that somebody believes in? What you're willing to sacrifice for in whatever fashion. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I say that, but it's like, okay, well, yeah, well, that's not the case. Who would do that? Fine. It's kind of like the whole quote unquote art of the deal thing. You ask for the crazy thing, and then you just go back to the mailbox on the corner rather than the moon. No offense to our friends from the moon, Fizz. Yeah. I can hear you exhaling through your ears. But my thing is, I'm like, all right, well, Jake Paul, as far as I understand, internet trickster, internet prankster. He gets in the ring, and whatever you want to think about it, blah blah blah. He's actually like getting punched in the face occasionally. So I'm like, all right, a guy that's an internet prankster is willing to get punched in the face because he can. So if there's a whole lot of, and we have many brave culture warriors, many folks that have stated that these are some of the most important things in our day and age, Fizz, that if it's so important, they're at least willing to get in the ring with somebody who they've identified as quote unquote evil and go one-on-one and at least be willing to entertain a knuckle sandwich for something they truly believe in, legally.
Yeah.
So since this is the case, how many of these like culture warrior and other folks of strong opinion actual matches have we had? I need a cricket on the soundboard. I have another thing for the Ogrimmar. Yeah, I don't.
How do you know if any of this stuff is true?
It's a good question. That's a good question we should always ask, my friends.
Yes.
I remember something was I think it was like the quartering and Review Tech USA. Like I remember that was supposed to be a thing. Like I heard about it like a year or so ago, and then I don't think anything came of it. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. I think. Oh no. I think Boogie. I think Boogie actually did have a boxing match in the UK or something. I don't really watch Boogie.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. Oh man, I've almost forgot about Boogie. It's been a minute.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, so we need to be scientific, Fizz. We need to go based upon the evidence. So at least we have one case. I don't even know if that was about drama or not, or it was just a celebrity boxing match. But at least Boogie, to my knowledge, at least got in the ring. That's the thing. It's like, as long as you're willing to have skin in the game, because right now, what's the meta? You go on the internet, you just stir up a whole bunch of BS and everything, and it's so weird. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just losing my mind again, just a crazy person on the internet. But it's like, literally, we'll watch folks start a fight on Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. Pick your social media platform. Just start a beef, and then just like literally just screenshot. Oh, somebody responded, and then do a live stream. Oh my god, blah blah blah. Cha-ching. I'm just like, if this is what we're incentivizing, I mean, most of the stuff makes sense there. It's like, because, I mean, again, people got to survive, and if this is how you survive, this is what you're going to do. It's like, what's the better path? I'm just like, all right, well, I don't like the path we're going. We could attempt to be adults and speak with each other, or at least attempt to like speak like I'm trying to speak with a wolf girl right now. You might not always understand the words coming out of my mouth. It's okay. I don't either. But it's just one of those things where it's like you can make an effort. A lot of efforts fail, but I'm like, if things are so bad that people are proposing very extreme options, I'm like, here's an alternative hypothesis. What if instead of major conflict, we just let the people that don't like each other, I'm going to use a term I used to see, not so much anymore, quote unquote, destroy each other. All capital letters, because it's very important so we know who to dislike.
Mm.
Your thoughts on the whole jam fizz.
Let them fight.
It means it's then the terrible thing is I think it works just because as soon as you realize like pretty much any community, and again, no one what I learned from a wise woman, Lorena Creole, is no one group or community has a monopoly on assholes. Pardon my French. Apologies to the French. It's as soon as you realize that, it's like, oh, well, if the a-holes are the problem, and the a-holes don't like each other, and everyone else seems to get drawn into this massive dumpster fire, well, it's like, oh, you don't like that person. I've literally had behind-the-scenes conversations with folks where it's like, when you're not shoving a camera in their face, or they have to be like on the record or stuff like that, you just ask pleasantly. It's like, so what about this? What about this? And I've literally had different folks literally come down to, I just don't like them or that person. That's an honest answer. I might not think it's the best answer, but it's an honest answer. If the problem is that I don't like them or quote unquote those people, them, they, the great that is not us. That's, I'm like, okay, well, why don't, if you guys got a beef, why are you trying to drag everyone else in? I mean, that sounds like you're almost trying to mislead folks. I mean, people wouldn't mislead their communities or something. If you're willing to be a brave culture warrior to lead folks into the promised land and help them do all the good stuff and things that is necessarily for that community, which of course everybody agrees upon all the things that they're going to do. If that's the case, then okay, they're willing, I'm sure, to at least get in the ring with another consenting adult that they say that they hate, that they've never actually met in real life, and be willing to entertain the chance of a legal knuckle sandwich.
Yeah, I've actually seen a bunch of attempts at that. And usually the one with the bigger mouth that seems to mouth off more and have more like a mud to sling. Usually the one that refuses to go partake.
No, Fizz, you're misunderstanding. It was a whole bunch of complications of this, that, and insert excuses here. I'm sure we're not talking about Mr. Medicker's internet tough guy video and Takasaw and Andrew Worski and stuff like that, and all the words that were said and everything. And yep, it was in Knoxville that it was shown that apparently, at least Adam Worski showed up.
Look, the example is like a Piper has been like. Piper has had people just make up a bunch of crap about her online, and then, she'll get in those conversations because they're fun. They're fun because they're on the internet, but she has plenty of times been like, yeah, sure, let's go. I don't care how big you are, let's freaking go. I believe in what I'm saying, let's go. And had them go, oh, no, she's starting to beat me up. Dudes.
I feel like I've even heard.
I'm pretty
all I
sure
know
you
is that
had to have seen
situation
some.
right there. I feel like I've heard that complaint about Ray as well. From
Most likely.
literally some things. It's like she showed up at like some random like convention or something. Like, oh, she said I was gonna do it. It's like wait. So you're okay. I've met both Ray and Piper. Um, to be fair, I really wouldn't want to start trouble with either of them for other reasons. But it's like if you're gonna put on a particular persona, and then it's like, well, now I'm calling. I'm telling on so and so, and I'd be, hey, listen, these things happen. I remember I told on somebody about a situation back in like the 5th grade about, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a constant troublemaker, but I'm like, all right. Assuming we're adults, why is there so much petty school drama and stuff? It almost seems weird. It's almost like it's its own industry. You look like you had something to say on that. Please.
Oh
Fizz.
no. I just definitely agree. I feel like it's industries too where it's okay to be more childish, almost encouraged in the first place. That seems to, but then people like take that way too far into that little kid stuff. But for Piper's sake, like nobody will even take her up on the challenge. But they say it's an easy one. But not so easy that they'll
she's got
actually
guns.
take her up on it.
She's got like She-Hulk strength.
She does. But she's trying to hide. They're not supposed to know that. They ain't supposed to be scared ahead of time.
I saw her at like a Ren fair and everything. I'm like, yeah, she's jacked. I'm like, yeah. That's your princess. Like, that goes like full Fiona on you. It's just like that was not expected. That's okay. So again, I'm just like, again, the thing that gives me hope is it seems so obvious now. Just because it's like, again, it's like certain folks. If you spent a good deal of time on the internet, a lot of people are aware of these different things and stuff like that, whether or not they say it out loud. People are smart. People tend to be smart, in my opinion, for a lot of things. But it's a lot of times you get more and more folks going on the internet, and then some folks are a bit older or new, or other folks are younger and they've only had so much exposure. But once you start getting up to the point where more and more people are becoming aware of the level of like BSery and everything that's going on, it's like, wait a second. If this is a thing, do we have to keep doing the same thing? It reminds me of like a lot of those world wars in like old Europe and stuff, where how do we have our European war? We line up our armies, and then they could just start firing at each other. They reload, they fire, they reload, they fire, and you just keep on going until you run out of like
There's
human
no more
beings.
dudes. Yeah.
It's literally the concept. And you want to know what? Who tends to survive there? The person behind all the other meat shields. So I guess it's a good thing some things never change. But it's that whole concept of like, okay, well, this seems like the talking points here and there. This is like, I'll follow a bunch of different folks from different perspectives. And it's so weird. Just like literally 5 p.m. or something, like Tim Pool, David Pakman, literally segment each day. And it's like, if you're only getting one or the other, it's like, oh my God, this is absolutely horrible. Like, how can these people and it just goes either way.
Yep.
And it's just, it makes the mind wobble. It's just because people literally do have are living in their own world. Because, well, if you see someone that disagrees with your opinion, I don't want to see that. Okay, you want to attend more.
Screw that person.
Engagement.
That's the problem. That's why people the most important thing to remember is that the internet is not real life. It looks like it. It's like a gamified version of it. It's very useful, but the internet is not real life. So in the internet, it feels like you could go anywhere and say any kind of opinion, and then you're gonna have a million people either jump you or think you're awesome, or depending on where you said your opinion. However, you walk outside, you say this, and nobody cares. No, you go outside, say an opinion, nobody cares. You're gonna have to specifically show up at a place where people are there specifically to care, like a protest or I don't know, like government stuff, whatever you humans say opinions that matter. But you have to go somewhere where you gather with others that either have the same opinion or the exact opposite opinion, depending on the result that you are looking for, to get anything similar to the interactions that you're probably normally going to get easily on the internet. Part of that is because there's a specific kind of people that hang out on the internet, and that kind of people is the ones that you're going to find at those places. But also because everybody's emboldened on the internet by the fact that they cannot get punched in the face. And if you want punched in the face, you're going to have to show up to those very specific places and events to do any face punching. And then you'll end up all over the internet. So I guess it works out for you. But yeah.
just to clarify, the Means of Destruction channel does not promote violence. Aside from if we were to actually legalize dueling, do not go out to events and punch random people in the face. That is highly discouraged.
Yeah,
no, and that we have had instances of that. So I was
just using that as an example, but yeah, it happens. It happens and it ends up all over the internet. But yeah, the internet is like taking that and making it look like daily life online. It's taking those situations and those places and putting them. That's basically what social media is. People can make their own websites about it, and that's like a meeting place too and stuff. But it's not. That's not how real life is, because there's way tons of people out there, and 90% of them are normies. So it's all flooded with normies out there. So you're not going to get the same kind of interaction that you're going to get here, unless you specifically go out looking for it. But yes, the internet will make it look like you can just, especially social media, can make it look like you can just go out and say, I like potatoes. And you're going to have a whole bunch of people go, heck yeah, potatoes. And then you might have a whole bunch of people go, you suck, potatoes suck. But if you walk into a Walmart and just go, I like potatoes, you're going to have, well, the potatoes are over there.
Yeah.
At best, you're going to have, well, the potatoes are over there. At worst, you're going to have, the hell is wrong with this person?
I mean, that seems like a pretty logical response right there. It can give one a slightly different perception. And the thing that gets me is sometimes I'll hear folks like out there saying, well, okay, we understand, but like, or something like, normies don't care. And I'm like, but, or something along the lines of, oh, those people are either bad or they're free, whatever. Negative things against these folks. And it's like, or calling some folks weird, or all I know is it's something like, okay, I need to rewind my thought. It's like, well, normies don't understand. I'm like, okay, so you mean normal people? So if you're calling other people normies, does that not mean by definition you are an abnormie?
Yep. Normies is it became like the universal way to refer to people that in your world, they're NPCs, basically, because they're background characters. You don't know them. They're just there. You don't know, you don't care. They're just around. That is the easiest way to describe a normie. A normie is using their social media specifically to post family pictures, vacation pictures to their immediate family and friends. They are not on there on social media to specifically go, hey, I'm going to say this controversial thing. See what happens. Woo! They're not out there specifically to do that. That's not what they're using social media for what it was probably originally intended for. And they're using the internet for what it was originally, well, okay, maybe not what it was originally intended for, but they're using it for, what you would think regular people is using the internet for. Looking something normal up, looking up a recipe, looking up, directions, looking up reviews to the restaurants to figure out which one you want to go to. It's normal stuff like that. Not looking up a specific person said such and such, and now I'm going to dig into every freaking thing they have online so that I know everything about them, and then I'm going to fight them with texts. They're not. Yeah, the normies aren't on Kiwi Farms. They're not on 4chan. They're not on. I don't know any of those other ones. I'm not on there either, but that's because I'm lazy.
Oh, no. Well, sometimes just knowing that a thing is a thing can at least give context about stuff that's going on.
Yeah, at least I know what 4chan looks like. I know what Kiwi Farms looks like. And all that good stuff. I know what it is. I'm too lazy for message boards. They're too slow for me. And I'm old, so I'm ancient. So I don't have like an account on every social media there is, like I keep being told I need to. Because I'm lucky I can remember I have 2 on one social media. So I usually forget that.
Yeah. No, I resemble that. That's occasionally you forget a lot. And just to go back to Poindexter's inspired topic of today, I see a lot of people from a lot of perspectives that seem kind of angry about different stuff and things. And I didn't have anything else I could think of before. So I didn't have anything creative, so I literally defaulted back to, we're just going to use the old dumpster fire and everything. And again, if people are getting... Again, I don't want to go full bore. I'm still attempting to do the science stuff to see if we can't find like better ways. But when I just keep on seeing the level of a lot of folks that I was following and the trajectory that things have gone, and it's like, well, I think right now the system that we have set up, and mostly the incentives. What's the incentive structure? Well, if I look at the incentive structure and the things that are playing out, of course this is going to happen. I mean, this just seems like the most obvious thing in the world. That's why occasionally I was like, just legalize dueling. Why? Because just play out the game to the scenario, and it's like, unless you really want to have like a civil war, or a world war, so like, unless like my big thing is, listen, whatever consenting adults want to do, I for the most part really don't care that much. It's when folks that are in the middle that get drawn into it because, I saw my friend there, I'm going to defend my friend. I don't know what's going on, and then they get tied into something, and it's like, really? So what you're saying is you just blindly just defend your friend because folks that are bringing up issues, they follow somebody I don't like or something like that. So it's like literally it's crazy. You just look at Twitter and you look at how people respond to Twitter and then look at how many folks they have in common. Very often, if there aren't that many folks in common, people are happy to say very negative things about it. But I feel like this has actually saved me from like a lot of blowback just because I might say something that could be interpreted one way, it could be interpreted another, but depending on who's looking at it, it's like, I follow some of those people. I follow some of those people. And I've literally had folks from seemingly diametrically opposed views both like the post. It's fascinating because they both were taking away their own thing. It's like, I know this person. Okay, well, they're obviously on our side or something. That makes me sad.
Honestly, that's probably one of the good reasons, like the good things that like X or whatever started hiding likes from each other where you can't see who liked what. Because man, that would get so freaking, that would cause fights so much of I see you liked so-and-so's message when they said such and such. Well, screw you then. It's like, what? Sometimes I like something and I don't even know who posted it. I just think, yeah.
How dare you?
Man. Yeah.
I am grossly offended. You kind of see the gist of my general framework? Well, people are grossly offended. It's like, all right, what's the ultimate limit for what you believe in? Something you're willing to sacrifice for. Is it important enough for you to get in the ring with another consenting adult and risk a potential knuckle sandwich? If not, it's probably not that truly important to you. I'm just saying that I think folks, especially that are going to use their good hard-earned money to support their favorite content creators on the internet, should know if they're a true believer or a talker. Because talkers make me thirsty.
I got
learned
a
that from
good
the Hound
example.
on
I
Game
got a
of
good
Thrones.
example of something
Jax,
along those lines.
I did know Kevin Smith had a YouTube channel. I think he was playing with they had a little Jay and Silent Bob thingy they threw on Twitter. Good to see you. Hey, what's going on? All right, MC, I think. MC, or I just know it's somebody that I know that was in the military. I apologize. People go through so many different names. That's the terrifying thing. Hey, even my old man, God rest his soul, he's like, listen, you can challenge somebody, but the challengee gets to set the terms. Like, this was an actual thing, and I'm just like, well, maybe we should have it be a thing or just scale it back. I'm just like, when internet pranksters are willing to get in the ring with Mike Tyson, regardless of whatever you think of that fight or whatever, I prefer not to be in the ring with Mike Tyson. I've talked with folks that literally have like worked at clubs where Mike Tyson was kind of a little bit tipsy at, and he was going in places maybe he shouldn't be. It's like, do you want to tell the champ no? It's not bothering anybody. It's, yes. All right, good.
Well, I was gonna give you another facet of this whole thing, and this whole it being on the internet thing, especially. I have learned that if you do not engage with the drama of a certain community, you are not part of that community. Online, at least. So as a VTuber, right? I am not part of the VTuber community because I don't know who's mad at who and who did what to who and whose artist is a jackass. I mean, bad words. But you know, what artist did this to this person? And even the when you talk about the really big VTubers that I do recognize their name, when you talk about their drama, I'm like, cool, that has nothing to do with me. That has to do with that group of people. I don't care. Like, I might have an opinion if it's something like huge. Something, you know, very, very huge, like the whole internet knows about it kind of deal or whatever. Like, if there's enough information and it's big enough to form an opinion on, that's about it. I will have an opinion. I might say that opinion. It doesn't really matter. I'm tiny. So, what I've noticed is I am not part of the VTuber community because of that. I will have one person come into my streams and report to me what VTubers doing, what the who, and blah blah blah, and I'll be like, or they'll come into my Discord and kind of report like, oh, but this happened with VTubers, and I'm like, cool, I have no idea who they are, because I try to make VTuber friends, but like, apparently it's drama. It is so hard. I will have a pair of VTuber friends that I met through each other one week, and the next week they're not friends anymore, so they just kind of both disappear on me too. And yeah, you're not part of the. So it's the same with Piper. Piper apparently has just kind of got squeezed out of her community because she took an entire year off of giving a crap. That's not a bad word. But she took like a year off of caring. And when she started to say hi to people, she is so lost. She is so lost on who's good, who's bad, who's who did what to who, and if she says hi to this person, what that actually means to these other people and stuff like that. It is hard. It is hard to make friends. Because apparently you get just to do that, you're not really it's hard to make friends on here because they expect you to make alliances, not friends. And I learned that VTuber really fast, so I'm just kind of lonely. Piper didn't realize that, and she just got her heart broken like 5 million times by a bunch of different people that she considered friends. And it turned out she was just making rickety alliances with, and she wasn't allowed to like. She didn't sign any papers, but apparently she mentally did or something. Some contracts or something, and she wasn't allowed to talk to other people if she wanted to keep certain friends, and I just don't think that's friends. Like, you know, so
Wait. Are you saying that some people base their quote unquote friendship on who you are friends with? That seems like a conditional basis and doesn't sound like a friend. That sounds like what you were saying, an alliance or some type of
A very weak alliance. So yeah, Piper. It took Piper learning the hard way. Even though she's been technically on the internet more than I have. Actually, what really goes on is she taught me, so now I don't have to go through all that.
Well, see, that's the thing. Ultimately, it's like, well, listen. Sometimes people will spend a little bit of time and stuff going into things. It's like that's why I sit back and I'm like, if somebody says something mean on the internet, it's like, listen. That person took time out of their extraordinarily highly productive career. They took time out of their beautiful families, time that they could be spending with them to say mean words to you on the internet. Do you have any idea how fortunate you are that a very highly important person took time to do this? You should actually feel kind of blessed.
I will warn her, I will tell her this right off the bat. One of the warning signs is if you made a friend specifically on the internet you do not know in person and stuff, and they get upset with you for talking to somebody that apparently said something mean about them that you didn't hear. But then at the same time, it will go and befriend somebody that did do something to you that they did see, and tell you, well, we don't pick sides here and stuff like that. If they have that double standard, get out. Oh my God, get out. If they and it sounds childish. It's recess crap. It is recess stuff. If they won't stick up for you, but get mad if you don't stick up for them when you're not even in a situation that they've been brought into to stick up for them for, basically. If you're bad for just talking to somebody, that's another person's enemy, but that very person won't stick up for you when you actually would stick up for somebody. that double standard, run, just don't put any more effort into them. High school was more than 4 decades ago, exactly. But it is alive and well on the internet. That is why the internet is not real life.
So Fizz, just from what I've heard on some groups of the internet, I know Nomad would be familiar with. There's a certain term that I would hear a lot of the time, and it depends. And the crazy thing is, I hear it from all different directions. It's called rules for thee, but not for me.
Yep. If they're doing that to you, or they're doing that to anybody, obviously that's a sign. But if they're doing it to you, especially, it's a big sign. It's a sign to don't. That's not a friendship. Don't put effort into that. That is you're an ally at best when it's beneficial to them situation right there.
It's a conditionship.
Yep. But you really can make meaningful friendships on the internet. You just got to find people that their first quality needs to be the ability to agree to disagree. Seems to be very important. Having some sort of principles that they actually stick to, even if they're not the same as yours, is usually a pretty good sign. Because then they're not going to act as unpredictably. You're going to know, okay, well, they're not going to be interested in that because this. Instead of, oh, I thought you wouldn't like this because, your morals yesterday.
It's if whatever the quote unquote principles are seem to wax or wane depending on the situation. Okay, I'm gonna give a shout out to Philip DeFranco. Not that he needs one or anything, but he said something before that resonated with me. And since we mentioned Jake Paul earlier, I think it works. It's like, all right, no matter what the situation is, however you feel, take that person and replace it with Jake Paul. And you think about that, you're like, well, do I? He's an internet prankster. Do I really care that much? That's the whole point. Because whether it's a person you really like or you really don't like, if you throw in someone neutral, how would you actually feel about it? It just change the names, change the faces. Like, if it went from, well, oh, you were ragging on this person. Why? It's like, oh, they did something terrible there. It's like, okay, they did something terrible. All right. Now, what happens if a very similar thing happens to somebody you do? Oh, well, it was a matter of circumstance, and then literally the hand waving and stuff comes in. It's like, really? There seemed to be very decisive finger pointing, changing to hand waving. So it's like, it goes from, it's like, the Hulk Hogan you to John Cena, you can't see me, oh, my principles. So, sorry. So I just get it's just hypocrisy and stuff. It's like, all right, even like if we say that we're supposed to be wanting to get close to the truth, it's like, again, I've spout a whole bunch of BS all the time, and it comes to the point where it's, oh my God, I've been incredibly wrong for over the past year. I would have to justify all these other things. It's like I do a stream, I go around, mope around myself, look at some other things, and then you move on with your life. So I see it. It's consistency. It's consistency.
Yeah.
And it's a selective outrage.
If you notice somebody's a lot of their core whatever changing depending on who they're around, they're a changeling that they do not trust. Is essentially, but heck yeah, it's so simple, but the internet makes it so hard. But honestly, the internet also in a way kind of helps you speedrun that filtering out friendships, because if you were trying to make the same friend in person, it would take a lot of actually having to hang out in different places and different situations to find out what kind of person they really were. Whereas online, man, you usually will speedrun what kind of person they are.
It does. I was getting ready to disagree with that, but then again, you finished your statement, and I'm like, yeah, you can see folks going through a bunch of different scenarios, and all of a sudden it's like, well, this was kind of a slightly heated situation right here. How did they respond? Oh, they just started saying what everyone else on their quote unquote side or whatever was saying. Okay, I'm gonna give a quick example at one point, and listen, I like Jay, I like Drunk 3PO, the YouTuber and stuff like that. I've met him. I've technically assaulted him before at a con before. Yes, there's video evidence. But so long story short is at one point Jay had started to get some more traction. He was getting bigger, and there would be some more folks there. And like if you're at a small scale, you got like 10, 20 people. If a lot of folks know each other, people know when other folks are joking and stuff like that. So one day I said something in his chat and everything, and some folks are starting to get a little worried, and they're like, whoa, well, maybe I hadn't been around in a week. Some folks are new there. Oh my God, was he making fun of Jay or something? And then Jay highlights me. He's like, Memes is one of us. Now, number one, that was such an endearing thing to say, that being part of something. But then again, at the same breath, it's like, one of us. It was terrifying because it was a selective thing that if I was not in the group and I had said that, it would probably be viewed differently. But since I was part of the tribe, so to speak, it was okay. And it was that way. And like, I did not expect that to really happen. I'm just like, wow, that's it really brought things into light for me. And again, I love Jay. I think he's generally does a very positive job. I don't always agree with what he does, but like, I think he's generally trying to do a good thing there. And even though our paths haven't really crossed that much recently, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, human beings are complicated. Like, look at all this stuff, all this drama and stuff, and then there'll be the things you see publicly, and then there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And there's sometimes folks will like blurt out whole chat logs. Maybe you'll have all these things posted to whatever sites it is there. But a lot of it comes down to, it's like, all right, I know Nomad was bringing up the whole concept of quote unquote loyalty. When we say that word, I think sometimes people think you must agree with me.
Yeah,
that is not necessarily the case. It's like, you will not betray me is one of those things there where it's like, I might disagree with you, but if I disagree, I disagree. Am I going to go out of my way to share private information to try to screw you over because it's going to make someone in another community give me a lot of head pats and go, good. Oh, it's head pats from Senpai. Now, Fizz, I understand. As a wolf girl, you love head pats. Who doesn't like some head pats there? But it's just one of those things. Are you using somebody else to your advantage? And the terrifying thing, or maybe not so terrifying thing to me is, at first I thought it was just, oh, I'm just hanging out in these communities and stuff. Again, maybe it's just me. It could just be me. Again, I set up a lot of proverbial fires, so to speak, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. But when I start going into even like more academic communities and like greater science communities, and I'm seeing a lot of the same stuff, I'm just like, all right, again, it might just be me. Or maybe it's just kind of a human thing.
Don't know about that human stuff. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you are right there in the fact that the communities form quickly on the internet, depending on how popular. There's always like a something that ties the community, that anchors it for the most part. Sometimes it was used to be just as simple as a hashtag. Now it has to be people. But freaking what was I gonna say? It had to do with what we were saying. Jeez.
Oh, I've literally heard folks that like, I like that, and they've literally said it's like, yes, this whole community was found on hatred of this.
Yeah. And and that is a problem. Oh, it's the loyalty part. That's what I remember. Especially when you get a community growing like that. Usually when the community is small, it's a lot easier to have like a bunch of people that are like from all different walks and this and that are all there just because, hey, this person's funny or interesting or I like this topic. Generally, once the community grows, it becomes its own monster almost. And the person the community is based around starts becoming beholden to that community a lot. Where now they're the puppet, their giant community is going, hey, we mostly came here because of this specific content, so now you need to do this specific content only, and we all need to think the same now. Or you're out of the community. But yeah, loyalty, that is a big problem on the internet, which again, guys, is not it's a place. It's its own place. So it is its own ecosystem. It's like mimicking real life. But condensing it.
I don't know. Is it an illusion? A shadow? Is what is going on there? And Jax, come on, man. It's nobody would ever just have exposure based upon somebody's ability to pay to play. I mean, I play those games, but it does happen. And MC, how dare you? How dare you? Pineapple has a place on pizza.
No.
Oh dear.
But fish does.
that's I guess Fizz. I guess we can't be.
Well, yeah, he's not. You're not loyal.
Yes. If the disagreement over a pizza topping is what drives people apart, then
I like the idea of it being a joke that it's enough to drive people apart, like the candy corn and licorice people. I'm a licorice people, and I don't like candy corn. So it is a fun spat, but at least it's like fun. But it actually is a really good example of the bigger picture of how things work on the internet. And why
I saw literally the final throes of some communities as they knew it, literally falling apart over like a movie and people's opinions about a movie. Wait, you're for it? No, this is bad. These are bad things. I'm like, really? So if you're going to hate people because of their opinion of a movie, obviously that's a telling of the social dynamic. You're absolutely correct and totally not neurotic. I am not a doctor. I'm a crazy person on the internet, but Fizz.
Right. Would you do that to a group of your friends in person where one of your friends is just like, I guess cool, y'all liked it. I didn't like that movie. And you just go, you're a horrible person. You betrayed us. You are not our friend anymore. How could you betray us? You're a sellout, blah, 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 or whatever. And I've seen that happen online specifically. Like the movie is a great example of if you build your community around like not liking Marvel movies and then you like a Marvel movie, you are screwed. You got to keep that to yourself. Otherwise, you're betraying your entire community and they will all turn on you. because you
I
liked.
know. It's not like
because
we saw the final throes of the Phantom Menace after
Right?
Wonder Woman 84 or whatever it was. It's
Yep.
yes.
It's
And again, it's
we're
you
all
brought
here
up if
because
you're
we
not.
don't like these, but you.
Yeah. Oh well, Fizz, it can get even worse. Not only if you don't participate in the drama, but if you provide a counter perspective.
Oh, yo,
Oh.
there is no playing devil's advocate on the internet, man. Because if you try, you just that's the side you're on now. If you try to just give an example of a different perspective, that is your entire opinion right now. That is your entire belief system, and you are the devil. You can't just.
Well, wait, we're going to wrap up, but Jax actually brings up an interesting point that kind of was percolating in my head here. It's like, all right, if you can kind of see, like, the mathematics of the game that's set up right here, it's like, well, what the heck do you do? Now, real quick aside that's going to make Fizz's ears go down. With some of these modern LLM agents and stuff like that, one of the next things I'm sure they're going to be trolling is videos on the greater YouTubes and whatever other platforms may be out there. And as they're going through this, and perhaps also looking through chat log, basically just going around the internet as a whole, large enough scale, you could probably ask about what's going on within these certain YouTubers and individuals' communities and the interactions, and actually almost have it as metadata. Because if there's one thing that these agents are good at, it's basically just listing out things that happened, like actual like facts. So this person said this. This person said this. Collect it. Identify as data points. Someone gets to the point where blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, well, where'd this claim come from? Well, this person said this. This person said this. The general feeling within this community is these are the bad people for these reasons. Now, what are the sources? What are the sources of those sources? How much of it is secular, and how much of the quote-unquote facts are just simply people stating their opinions?
Yep. And then, of course, there's the supposed proof, which is generally like things clipped out of context. And also, AI is making that a lot easier now for people to just make crap up about each other.
Yeah, people just won't believe anything, so.
Yeah. I will say, I wanted to say to Poindexter, there's a precedent for ham and pineapple. I think the problem is, I do not like both ham and pineapple, so I want both of them off of my pizza.
Well, that's the identifying factor. Most people say that pineapple on pizza are very often probably referring to Hawaiian pizza, which when you have ham combined with the pineapple, you get some sweetness and you get the saltiness. It tends to work, whereas pineapple on the pizza by itself, it's like...
Yeah,
you could do it. I mean,
places offer it as just a topping by itself,
or something like that. But
as a themed pizza, I understand. As pizza places offering it to just sprinkle on any pizza, that's weird. But also, I just don't like ham or pineapple on my pizza.
Hey, your pizza, your choice. Whatever toppings you want to throw on there, that's the thing. It's just that's one of those kind of catch-22 arguments, so to speak, and that even there was a video with like Professor Neil deGrasse Tyson the other day, and somebody like literally just asked him this. He's like, just insert controversy. And to be fair, he literally pointed out, he's like, most people usually say it's like, yes, they're usually talking about Hawaiian pizza. That might not be specified, but he's like, yeah, I'm a New Yorker. No, I want New York style. So that was his simple answer, but it's something to kind of rage about. But then again, well, it's food. Well, who really cares about that? But you take that, it's like, how many degrees from pineapple pizza is someone's perspective offensive? Is it
that's why the pineapple, like the little food spats, those are cute. Those are funny to just, be like, because for a fact that, well, okay, there's
most people usually don't care. I'm sure
there's still a chance that somebody actually really does does get offended, but there's a better chance that nobody's getting offended. We're just play fighting. That's play fighting right there. That's play fighting on the internet. That's prepping you for real fighting on the internet. Before you get out there, you leave the nest. And start really fighting.
Banter. You got to get out of your home zone first.
Yeah. That's play fighting on the internet. That's how you prepare.
You got to hit at least like level 10 or something. I think that's how these things works. But all right, we've done over the requisite amount. But
Oops.
Fizz, what do you got going on?
I am going to go back to trying to date everything, which has been pretty disturbing.
What?
This game is scary.
What?
It's a game called Date Everything that was given to me, so I've been streaming it on Twitch on Thursdays.
When you say date everything, is this like a carbon 12 dating, or like I don't know which?
This is you're trying to riz the. Let's just say the toilet hates me already. I got my first hater, and it's the toilet, and that's just perfect.
I have no comment. I'm actually okay. Never mind.
You actually
so
date
if you want to see
everything,
Fizz
including
battle
the
a
game.
toilet or something later,
Yeah, I was gonna say you date the game itself. You date the menus. You date everything, and the special magical glasses you use to do that actually have a suspension. And the suspension is a suspension of disbelief that you have to like keep happy.
Oh no.
This game, it's wild. Like, I would say it's cute, except that sometimes it's creepy. And oh my gosh, is it overwhelming? Sheesh, it's never gonna end.
So we've learned a lot today.
It's like making fun of those those girly games.
I could. Oh god, just don't go into any gas station. I'm just playing. Okay. You may want to be wary of the gas station sushi, but then again, I'm sure price and participation may vary. So that's about all we got. So we got Fizz that's going to be dating stuff over on Twitch another hour or two over there, and the link is in the doobly-doo. The link is in the chat there. And now, for everyone else, Fizz, any final parting words?
Yeah, pineapple and ham sucks. Also, licorice is good. Y'all just are not sophisticated.
Those views are not necessarily held by the Means of Destruction channel, and no wolf goals were heard in the making of this broadcast.
I'm broken. You broke me. Oh no. Oh dear. You guys? You guys!
Gangnam Style.
I